Hey everybody, Umbra doing what he does all the time when we have a live stream, the recap video. For those of you who don't want to sit through about an hour and a half worth of stuff, this video is for you. Although I will say, ever since these live streams have gotten cut down from 2 hours to even sometimes an hour, it does make life considerably better. So let's start running this. So what was the feeling tonight? You know, this is our first post global live stream for JP. What are the feelings of these people? Well, it seems to be just business as usual. Like, you know, if you were on the JP side, you might not even really know that global was dead. But I guess they don't want to dwell too much on it for what it's worth. Hirano is here. It's an interesting mix because in the past, before global died off, the live streams were pretty Hirano free, and now we've got this era, I guess, of shorter live streams and Hero present more often with his lame bow tie. Well, maybe it's charming, maybe it's tacky, I don't know, whatever you feel like. The big thing tonight was the announcement of the Final Fantasy XIV collaboration, which we knew ahead of time because of the hinting and everything. We knew that this was coming, and we now have an idea of what exactly this will be like, and that it won't just be a single character coming to the game. It's actually going to be 2 characters. Grahatia, a fan favorite amongst Final Fantasy 14 fans, and if you haven't checked out this game, it's an absolutely fantastic game. It's an hour eater, but it is, you know, pretty good value for your hour. So the 2 new characters will be Grahatia as well as Estinien, the Dragoon, who has been in the game since Heavensward. Now will also be in Wotv, and he is going to be a spear-based jumping type damage character, whereas Grahatia will be a rearguard mage type character. We have wind and fire for the 2 elements here, and it's interesting to say the least. I didn't particularly think that he was going to be a fire elemental. I don't know if he's necessarily going to solve any of fire's problems as an element. It will be probably just interesting to see where this character actually ends up when all is said and done. I'm kind of split a little bit. And also all the old 14 vision cards will be returning, plus 1 new one, too, featuring what looks like a bunch of stuff from the most recent 14 expansion. And there you go. This will run from June 17th to July 17th, so continuing on the same as the Rebirth collaboration trend of only being 1 month long, not a month and a half like previous collaborations were. So this might be the new Wotv style of just shorter collaborations, maybe more often. Either way, let's see what we got. So starting off with our wind-based character. Sorry, I have a bunch of tabs open, so let's jump all the way through. I also should say that both of these characters will be on the same day, June 17th at 3 p.m. Both of them will be available through Gacha. They are both 100 cost characters. And yeah, that's essentially it. 14 characters have gone Gacha. And I don't know, we'll see what the results are. Probably they will be impactful to the meta. Hopefully they will be meta-changing, as I'm not particularly a big fan of the current JP meta. But other than that, it's just, I don't know, it is what it is. And the old characters will also be returning for a chance for maybe some global refugees to get their hands on both of these characters and upgrade them within the time. Thancred will be coming at a free level 120. Is kind of nice, and hopefully for old players they'll get some kind of extra bonus. Also, there is a heavy promotion of the new web shop here on JP. So the web shop here is going to be getting some presence, potentially. I do think that they are trying to plug it for, of course, getting people to spend, because of course they get, of course they do, of course they do, of course they do, of course they do, of course they do. But it looks like there will also be some presence to potentially do with the collaboration, including multi-poll tickets for both characters, which does also, interestingly, key us into the fact that they will not be on a shared banner. They will be separate. Maybe you think that isn't worth mentioning too much, but at this point in time, I think it is very worthwhile, since we've kind of entered what is feeling like a little bit of a new era. So jumping ahead, Estinien and Gratia seem to share entirely different play styles, where this is a Dragoon as a main job. But what's interesting here is that he seems to be AoE focused, where Gratia is single target focused. Now, Wind Elemental, 100 cost character. Already said that, but just in case, I'll repeat it. Trying to it doesn't seem like it is featured, so let me go back for a second, because I definitely thought that this was on one of the pages that I was looking at, but apparently not. So yep, just gonna do the old check, because I definitely forgot about it. Thought I paused the video there, guess not. Estinien will be having Paladin and Dragoon Vein Knight. Good combination of jobs for him that I think synergize with the main stuff and potentially keep him alive. Physical style attacker with a spear weapon, equipped with a new status effect boost. Since it is an independent effect, it can be stacked. In this case, the effects of single target resistance and physical damage increase can be stacked. So Estinien, interestingly enough, coming with a brand new effect. And this is one of those things of like, if we look at one of the other new effects that came this year, or the other new effect that came this year, which was the Spike effect. Spike is pretty underwhelming and has kind of just felt okay. It exists, but it's not remotely as impactful as some other stuff. We'll see whether or not Boost can actually measure up, because right now I'm feeling that it may not be quite there, but we'll see. All right. So example, Estinien's strong point is that he can increase his single target resistance and physical damage up more often than other characters is a big thing. Not only can he be used for a spear-based party with Windmore and Gilgamesh, but his VC synergy with sword characters such as Yami-Garuza is also noteworthy. So Yami-Garuza, the dark magic character, interesting that they are pushing him in that direction, as it's just kind of been a trend recently of, of course the most strong character is the most recent. Now in the bottom left of this screen that you can see right here, we do have a new jump ability, focusing just dealing more physical damage. Large doesn't seem to be a lock-on one. Power will be increased the further the target is away, so there could be some interesting stuff in here. Top right, when HP falls below a certain percentage, you get HP recovery and AP up. Also boosts for 4 turns, which can be stacked, but whether or not the AI is smart enough to do that, that is another thing. Bottom right ability cancels guts on targets within range and deals 3 turn chain resistance down. Also, if an enemy is incapacitated, it looks like it gets some AP recovery. Estinien is interesting, but only in a footnote way for now, of just me looking at him and saying, oh, a new effect. Last one didn't work as great as I thought it would. Well, okay, that's not true. Knockback on Rufus Shinro was pretty good. But this boost effect, there's a lot of asterisks about it. So honestly, Estinien kind of is not my showpiece character of this event. What is probably this guy, Grahatia, whose artwork actually I just don't think is good enough. I don't know. other 14 people, you can comment on it, but I actually think that this is not my favorite artwork that I've seen. His job, considered all-rounder, magic swordsman, and is one of his sub-jobs, as well as... what's the other one? It says magic swordsman and magic swordsman, but I know that's not true. So it's 2 types of magic sword-based abilities. I'll get back to that once we take a look in the actual game. But taking a look here, he is considered to be a rear guard type magic attacker, so not in the front row. Mostly dealing damage from afar, single target attacks that are multi-target as well. And not only that, but offering some support. Let's see, he is in the Black Mage category, has a self buff whose effect changes depending on support abilities. Basically before it is set, before it is attacked, after it is set. So some kind of new mechanic here as well, with a little bit of when other abilities are cast. Seems very Black Mage-y from 14 of using fire and ice spells in different positions to get things done. Also maybe a little bit of Red Mage, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Defense pushing ability, so pushing up defensive abilities for other characters. Following up seals, has chance style attacks, or casting based attacks, I should say. Also has effects and does come with a new boost effect too. Since it is an independent effect, can be stacked. Powerful with seal up follow-up skills, so it is expected to be one of the solutions against shooting parties, which is again one of the reasons why I'm more interested in this character. Has an unusual buff that changes before and after support abilities. The boost effect is either attack boost or durability boost. That seems a little bit in similarity towards Rain, who had, like, if he is using an attack-based ability, he gets a certain buff. Defensive ability or support ability, you get another type of buff. So we might see that come into more fruition here with a new character being pretty strong. Bottom left ability, select 2 targets, deal damage, reduce certain percentage of single target resistance, 2 consecutive damages, extra accuracy, absorbs a portion of the damage dealt. Seems really good. Top right ability, either boost penetrate or boost resist. This is the one that changes depending on what he has done. Got some protect style effects, or, you know, pushing damage sort of thing. Bottom right, science flare, after canceling raise on 2 targets, makes them take magic damage, recover small HP up to 2 targets. So seems pretty interesting, the grouping that we do have here. Now, skipping ahead a little bit here, the next thing that was talked about is this VC. Don't know too terribly much about it, as it hasn't been completely decided, but spears, staves, black mages are pretty much a given, and limited effect is going to be quest related. Guess we'll see what that actually fully looks like when it comes out. Also returning will be the free temple with the Golden Legacy vision card, one of the more recent vision cards that came out last time FF14 came around, so that's kind of nice. People can pick that up who are new to the JP side. 2 new weapons, brand new spear and brand new rod, probably following the more recent trend of just being incredibly exclusive to whichever character currently is the new character for it. And we'll see the return as well of, you know, this event getting the helmet, but also a new earring piece of equipment will also be farmable. So curious to see what the details look like on that. Talked a little bit about match auto loop, which I've talked about previously. It is not a great feature yet. It basically, a lot of things can screw it up. It still needs some general improvements or something to be a little more reliable, but it does exist in the game, so by merit of that, cool. New arena map focusing on the new characters, as well as a grand arena that looks to be focused around FF14 characters. So we'll see what that looks like when it comes out. just for points of interest, Grand Arena's top units. Basically, a lot of the time it's Orlando because of limited style stuff. But, you know, there is some general other characters that seem to be quite popular as well. Next up, Story Climax. You know it's big when they're having a climax campaign. Climax all over the place. So the Story 14-3, quite possibly the final part, will be coming July 1st. I can't guarantee that it is actually the final part, but might have to do a live stream just for that, play through the story on stream, because people are interested in it, so just see what happens. We can also see new artwork for a new character that I don't think has been featured too terribly much. Maybe was in the most recent chapter, but again, I haven't played it, so thanks, Gumi. Spoilers. It's my job to do sometimes. All right, so yeah, other than that, a few campaigns will be held. They talked about the orchestra event that is coming up or has happened. I don't even remember at this point. And yeah, talking about the Reincarnation Festival that is currently going on, JP. And we got some free rewards at the end of the stream that will be delivered when the new event is live. So yeah, dropping that for a second and just going and looking, whoops, in-game here. Most of that news has already been dropped. Of course, the two new characters coming relatively quickly next Tuesday. We'll see what those are. So just to show you the in-game, little few extra details that we can pick up. Paladin and Dragoon Vein Knight. Looks like we have weakness, resistance, and reaction block for a master ability, and then Grahatia. Yeah, two basically magic swordsman abilities when it with a little bit of subtlety, more I guess in English, and ability casting time down 25%. And the other one, totally blanking on what that actually is, so let me just check. Mental penetration rate up of 25%. It'll be interesting to see which of these two characters make the biggest impact. Estinien, probably from just a spear, me wanting spear to keep going, would be quite interesting. But you know, Grahatia, I'm particularly hoping that maybe he can do something really interesting, get rid of a lot of the shooter-based parties out there. So we'll take a look and see next week. But thanks for watching. Take care, and we'll see you next time.